Hey y'all, it's me, Chocolate China. Not looking as busted as I was yesterday, but I told y'all I was going to the school today, so I just come in and give y'all an update on lady who you talking to. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back, watch my previous video, then come back to this one. Okay, so I went to the school today. When I got to the school, it was 10 cars deep again. So I pull around this car so I could go and park, and my daughter says, "Mommy, Miss Hendricks said you gotta stay in the line. It's something about safety. It's safety." I said, "You know what? I'm grown. I got this. I'm not staying in this long line." So I get in and I pull up and I see this other lady with 2 kids get out of her car. And she's walking up to the crosswalk, and Miss Hendricks is out there again. And unbeknownst to me, she is the principal. The same lady that had mouth yesterday. Okay. So she comes from in front of the school. She walks across the crosswalk, meets this lady and her kids. "Oh, good morning." Okay. She gives them that. Now, I done pulled in, parked, turned my car off, and opened my door so I can hear what she say to her. "Oh, good morning." She walks the lady and her kids across the street, across the crosswalk over to the school. So, I walk my kids across. I don't get nothing. Maybe she saw the look on my face. Maybe she didn't. I don't know. So, I walk my kids on up to the school. And I say, "Y'all have a good day. I'll see y'all this evening." Let them go on in school. And, I talked to one of the guys. He works at the school. And I just tell him, what happened yesterday. And I said, if I get a little bit, loud or something like that, tap me on my arm. Because I know me. If I get excited about something, if, my blood get to boiling or something, I tend to get loud. It's not on purpose. I'm not being aggressive. But I tend to do that because I am a loud person, if y'all didn't already know. I said, tap me on my arm, grab me on my arm, whatever. And he was like, "Okay." So, now mind you, I got witnesses out there. So, it was a kid crying. They want to get out the car. So, Miss Hendricks walk over and get the kid and take the kid into school. So, I follow her, into the little, what you call that, vestibule, whatever. And I said, she let the child go in. And I said, "Miss Hendricks, can I talk to you for a minute?" Now, I'm talking to her just like I'm talking to y'all. I said, "Miss Hendricks, can I talk to you for a minute?" She said, "Yeah, can we talk out here?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, that's fine." So we come back on the outside of the school where everybody is at. Now, I didn't want to get her in no office nowhere where she can't say I did this to her or said this or whatever. I need to be out where, because I know how some folks can be tricky. So I said, yesterday when I dropped my kids off, I saw when you came over and you told my children, your mommy needs to stay in the line. And I said it just like that. I said, for future reference, if you have a problem with something mommy does, come and talk to mommy. Don't tell that to my children. Because then they think they did something wrong. "Oh, well, I told them that they didn't do anything wrong." I said, "No, you didn't." I said, "I sat in the car and I watched them the whole time like I do every other morning. You can ask anybody around here that's here at the same time. If I pull in and let my kids out, I stay here until they get inside the school." I said, "And yesterday all you did was walk over. You said what you said. They walked into the school themselves." She said, "Oh, well, I told them on the way in the building." "No, you didn't. They walked into the school themselves." I said, "Now," and I pointed to how many cars were in line. I said, when there are cars, that many cars in line, I'm not going to stay in that line. I said, because when y'all only have 2 people out here letting 2 students out at a time, by the time I get up here to let my children out, they don't have adequate time to get into the building and eat their breakfast. And I get here at 7:45 in the morning. They have until 8 o'clock to eat their breakfast. If it's that many cars and you only have 2 people out here, I'm not staying in that line. "Well, yesterday we had 3 people out here." I said, "No, you didn't." I said, "You were standing right there at the end of the breezeway," and I pointed exactly to where she was standing. I said, "And there was one lady beside you. Y'all were letting out 2 children at a time. When I got ready to leave, there was 12 cars in line. When I got ready to pull out of this parking lot, I said, I'm not staying in line that long. Well, really, you're not going to stay in line that long. I said, when you only have 2 people out here, I'm not staying in line when there are 10 plus cars. Well, we only had 2 people out here yesterday. What I wanted to say was, I thought you said you had 3. Is it 2 or 3? Which one is it? Now, you the principal, you know the difference between 2 and 3. 2 and 3 is not the same thing. Okay? So, number 1, you done already lied about that. Number 2, you lied about my children. You told them they didn't do nothing wrong when you walked them in the building. You didn't walk them nowhere. You didn't even come and meet them across the street to walk them over like you did this other lady over here. Now, she was with her children. My children were walking by themselves. True enough, I was sitting in the car 5 feet away. But you didn't even come across to meet them. But you come and meet this woman and her children. They had somebody to walk them across. So, at this point, I'm past heated. I'm past heated. Because I can't stand for people to sit up there and try to lie to me to my face. When I know you lying and you know you lying. Don't try to run game on me. When you know I sat there and watched. So again, well, we only had 2 people yesterday because it was raining. Okay. So again, like I said in the beginning, you only had 2 people out here. Well, I'm usually out here every morning unless I get called back and forth into the building. I said, you know what, that's fine. But if there's only 2 people out here and only 2 kids can get out of the car at a time, and if it takes them 30 seconds to a minute to get out because they got to grab their book bag, they got to get out the car seat, they got to say their last goodbyes to the parents, and then on top of that, then they got to crawl out the car. The parent is going to watch them if they like me and make sure they get up on the sidewalk and walking toward the building and get almost in the door. That's 30 seconds to a minute because it took me how long just to explain that? And kids is not moving that fast. So we going to be waiting 5 minutes at the least. So if I get there 5:45, 7:45. They're going to put me at 7:50. They got to walk to their class and then they got to get their breakfast. And then they basically have to suck it down. No. Well, it's a safety issue, with children. I said, well, ma'am, isn't that a crosswalk painted right there? So crosswalks are painted where it's safe to cross, right? I said, so apparently you're supposed to be out here. There's supposed to be other teachers out here. I'm sitting in my car right here. So to me, that's pretty safe, right? If everybody's where they're supposed to be, right? To me, that's safe. Well, still, it's a safety issue. I said, well, I haven't seen you say that to anybody else. Well, it has been an issue with parents staying in the car. So from here on out, just stay in the line. I said, no, ma'am. And I turned around and I pointed to the cars again. Almost backed up to the road. I said, if cars are like that, I will not be staying in the line because my children don't have adequate time to get to class and eat their lunch by the time we wait. So by this time, she done said it again. I'm fuming. So I start walking and she started walking too. And I said, again, if cars are like that, I won't be standing in line. I will be pulling in and parking. I said, you haven't said that to anybody else? Haven't seen it. You didn't say that this morning. I said, so if you cannot do your job and help my children cross at the crosswalk where they're supposed to cross, where it's painted, don't even worry about it. If you can't do your job, I'll get out and do it for you in the morning. And I just turned around and walked off. You're not finna try to handle me. You're not finna try to do me like that. I'm trying to see how much time I got. You're not finna try to do me like that. And try to, sidestep me or whatever. And try to lie. And then gonna say, just stay in the line. You're not gonna wait that long. No. I just told you, if cars are backed up like that, and I showed her how many cars was backed up, I'm not staying in that line. You need to have more than 2 people out here. Now, this morning I saw 3. This morning I saw 3. So, yeah, that's a little bit better. But still, on the flip side, don't try to run game on me like you always have all these people out here and, we don't never have to wait. Blase this, blase that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You're not going to run game on me. And don't sit up there and say that you told my children while y'all were walking in the building. Now, if you told my children that during the day, if you saw them in the hall, that's fine. I would have told her, well, they didn't tell me that. I didn't see that, so I can't comment on that. But when she flipped off at the mouth and said she told them walking into the building, no, you didn't. Because I stood out here. I sat out here in my car the whole time, windows down, car off. So if I heard you say your mama needs to stay in the line, why wouldn't I hear you say, oh, you didn't do anything wrong? And furthermore, why would you pop off the mouth and say that they didn't do anything wrong when they didn't even reply to you? To say, oh, am I in trouble? So why would you even just come out and say that? That don't even go together. So number one, I knew you didn't walk them in the building. That was a lie. I didn't hear you say that to them, so that was a lie. Because I sat out there, like I said, like I do every other morning. And you can ask anybody that's out there at the same time, the custodian. Every morning he's standing outside, just in case they need extra help with the kids. He know how I do. So don't try to run that game on me. You have really pissed me off. And for her not to even want to walk my kids across the way. Now, mind you, that lady, the first lady this morning that had her 2 kids walk them off, Miss Hendricks walked across the street, met them. Oh, good morning. And she walked them across the crosswalk back over to the school. That lady was white. Me and my children are clearly black. Where is our hey good morning? Yesterday you didn't bother to try to come and walk them across the street. And it wasn't even raining like that because you didn't even have an umbrella. My children didn't even have an umbrella. Because if it was raining like that, number one, if I got out with them, just like last week it was raining, I wouldn't just put my children out in the rain. They would have an umbrella. I would have got out with them like I did last week. So it wasn't raining like that. It was previously, but it wasn't even raining like that. Because you didn't even have no umbrella. So we didn't get no hey, good morning. All they got was your mommy needs to stay in the line. Now, how you think that make them feel? Now, you want to get on my bad side? You want to get on that list? Mess with my children or my money? And speaking of money, that school is always asking for money for something. But you can't help my children cross at the crosswalk where the crosswalk is painted. They're not just cutting across the lawn. They crossing where they're supposed to, and that's your job in the morning. If you can't be no crossing guard for 15, 20 minutes, you need to either resign or you need to stay your tail in the office and get somebody else outside that can do that. Because that don't make no sense. So anyway, y'all rate, comment, and subscribe. Y'all let me know what y'all think. If I was wrong, if I was right, if I should have did something else, if I need to do something else. Y'all let me know in the comments. And I guess until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.